How are lab classes, which is another big concern of some students that who would like to enroll for the next academic year, being simulated? Paano daw yung dissection ng cadaver, paggamit ng microscope, mga preceptorials, have like scheduled access to labs if ever?
And, well, syempre, because it's special, right? It's not exactly an idea. You wouldn't, especially if you're an incoming, may or may not experience, which is crucial to build how you're going to be in med school. Yung resilience mo, yung
adaptability. Ay, nawala siya. Hello?
Doc Mara.
Hello?
Doc Mara?
Yun,
Ayan!
see? Ganyan.
Ayan! It happens.
Example
It happens.
of what happens in online classes.
Online class.
It happens. Kanina malakas, biglang nawala.
Hi everyone, I'm Faith Conanan, a medical doctor from the Philippines. So embracing the new normal that we are in right now, recently I have been getting questions regarding online classes. So personally, my experience with online classes are limited. So for today's episode, I have invited with me medical students from first year to third year to enlighten us more and share the experience on how a typical school day of a medical student is. So some of the concerns that we will be talking about are points regarding attendance, class participation, group dynamics, how are laboratory classes simulated, do they have lunch break, how do they switch from one class to another. We'll also talk about dealing with distractions, technical difficulty, connection problems, tuition changes, and they will also give you tips as well on what gadgets or what apps to use for your online classes. Also be giving you advice on how to switch to the traditional way of learning and incorporate it into the digital learning as the new normal. If you want to know more about it, please keep on watching. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, click that notification bell so you will be notified once I upload a new video. So, let's get to it. Mga class nyo, purely online ba kayo? Blended learning. Nasabi ba sa inyo na eventually baka pwedeng bumalik sa online saka traditional?
Initially, for the next academic year, ang option is full online lahat except yung major exams for the first sem. Release na parang magiging full online na siya. So even yung major exams will be done online. For the second sem naman, it will all depend kung ano yung situation by that time. Kasi yung second sem namin, it will be February 2021 pa.
Kami naman yung ang plan was sem, pinupush nga sana ng blended learning, which is in campus at saka online exam sa bahay lang. Kasi syempre for procedures, return demonstration, mga actual procedures, ganyan, syempre dapat face-to-face, kumbaga nakikita, ganun. Yan nga, since sa pandemic, nakadepende pa kung mapupush yun. Pero yung other option, if hindi mapush yun, first sem, parang pure theoretical, parang ganun. Then baka sa second sem na lang yung mga return demo, mga procedures. Although plans pa lang sila.
Okay.
Wala pang official.
And yun nga, yung first 6 months is not strictly, online, hopefully. Parang monitor yung situation kung kaya bang at least mag-face-to-face. Kasi I think CHED or APMC released a statement that no clerks or interns are allowed to have face-to-face. Not earlier than September. So, parang hoping by then, siguro, sana, we would gradually ease back into going to face-to-face. Kasi ito na yung pinaka-practical part ng med school,
Medicine.
right?
Oo, dyan na yung clinical exposure.
Ito na yung clinical exposure. Excited na kami. Originally, dapat papasok na kami June 1. Na ready na ba tayo mapuyat, ma-stress, magsigawan. Tapos, yun nga, the pandemic happened and na-push back to July 1 yung start. And it's been difficult din kasi parang we want to learn, we want to help, we want to experience med school fully, kahit stress pa yung clerkship. So, we're hoping at least man lang yung latter half maging face-to-face na.
Pero dun sa face-to-face na yun,
Hospital.
diba? Kasi usually, yung mga clinical subjects is like you spend 2 months of it dun sa mga rotation mo. So, iko-compress din nila yung mga yon.
Itong first 6 months, diba, the original setup for clerkship is stick to 2 months duty per department. So, they split it. So, 1 month ngayon, online, next time, next sem, yun yung face-to-face niyo.
Oo, maganda. So, may theoreticals na part, tas yung actual na lang. To add dun sa mga sinasabi kanina ni na Dr. Kalvin, no, yung mga sinabi nyo na you will be having your exposure dun sa mga written demo, dun sa preceptorials on the second sem. How are lab classes, which is another big concern of some students that who would like to enroll for the next academic year, being simulated? Ano daw yung dissection ng cadaver, paggamit ng microscope, mga preceptorials, have like scheduled access to labs if ever?
Mapupush nga yung mixed na curriculum na pwedeng in-campus, which is nakasked nga siya dapat. Ang time na pupunta ka sa school is yung maglalab ka, mag-dissection sa cadavers or kung sa patho, mag-review ng slides. Yun nga, ang hirap kasi parang nakadepende pa rin sa case ng buong Philippines kung tataas pa yung cases ng pandemic or hindi.
Wala pa kasing guidelines. First sem will be purely theoretical and then the lab part will be done on the second sem. Kasi marami na ding nagtatanong sa akin na incoming first years or nagbabalak ng bed na what if yung excited kasi dissect.
Actually.
Big part naman kasi talaga yun
Mind opener talaga siya for me kasi hearing from you guys, no? For sure, the school will have a contingency plan. Kung ano yung mangyayari, di ba? Regarding the lab classes and the basic and clinical subject situation, tinitingnan muna natin. Pero at least, the future viewers of this will be able to learn from you na there could be parang possible access to the school or scheduled once na naging okay na yung situation. Moving on, how are individual reports or group dynamics being held?
Our class initiated reportings of the undiscussed part. Sa PLM kasi, there are 4 shiftings. Nung nag-lockdown, nasa 3rd shifting. Going sa exams, lahat ng 4th shifting topics hindi na-discuss. So, our class initiated review or peer classes, discussions of the topics na hindi na-discuss.
Ang ganda.
Going forward to the next year, nakakatakot din na wala kang alam na na-promote ka. Parang ganun.
Diba? Being a doctor, dapat parang if you want to serve the patients in the future, tapos harapin mo sila, ganyan. You should have the basic learning dun sa mga diseases na ganyan. Tapos yun pala yung na-skip, no, nung nag-lockdown. Sa board exam, gano'n.
Hindi ko naaral kasi nag-lockdown.
Sinisi sa lockdown.
Parang puro individual report talaga. Yung individual assignments or report. Tapos, isasubmit lang sa mga platform. Pero wala pang mga small group discussion.
Nagkaroon na ba na situation na parang ikaw yung host? Ikaw yung nagdi-discuss
wala pa naman. Yun nga.
Hindi
wala
pa umabot sa gano'n.
Wala.
Given na nabigay na yung mga topics beforehand. Parang syllabus. So, you may study at your own pace.
How are the quizzes or long exam being done? Time pressured ba siya?
Yeah, sa amin super time pressured.
Yes.
Sa Edmodo kasi siya ginawa. And pag once na huli ka dun sa sinet na time, hindi mo naman siya babalikan. Per department, iba-iba naman. Yung ibang ginawang quizzes naman ng isang department, G-forms siya. So, very flexible naman siya.
May mga surprise quizzes pa ba?
Wala naman.
Puro scheduled, no?
Okay na.
Actually,
scheduled naman siya. Pero nakakatakot pa.
Yung iba may time limit, yung iba walang time limit, gano'n. So, yun lang. Kung minsan kapag walang time limit, syempre parang, ay, pahing answer, parang gano'n. Nasagot na ng iba. Pero
Actually,
kapag may time limit, yun lang, dapat sasagutin mo within the time. Parang sabay-sabay, gano'n.
Ginawa kasi namin nung parang nagturo ako, parang finish this exam within 15 minutes. Tapos meron yung mga re-attempts. Yung next na topic natin, how do you deal with the technical problems or yung mga distractions at home? Yeah. Poor connection, mga naglalag, yung mga kapatid mo, may pets ka sa bahay, TV, bed, paano?
I went back to my dorm specifically para lang makafocus kasi hindi talaga ako makaaral sa bahay. As in, may doggy, parating kinakausap ako ng kapatid ko, tapos tatawagin ka, maghugas ka na, parang wait, like, guys know that I have to do this, di ba? So, part yun ng naging plan ko all along, to stay here lang. And of course, taking note of safety precautions kasi mag-isa lang ako dito. For internet concerns naman, so far, ako hindi pa ako napuputulan ng call. They're more understanding now kasi you really can't control it naman. Tapos, minsan pati yung prof yung nawawala, tipo kaya in the zone siya mag-discuss biglang.
Ay, may ganon.
Oo.
Naghahang siya.
Biglang,
pala siya.
Doc? Doc,
Saan ka na?
asan po kayo? All have a bit of understanding for the situation. So, we can't really demand someone na kailangan online ka talaga straight.
Flexible naman. Lenient sila.
Nasa dorm, pero not sure pa kung pagka-uwi ko niyan. Siyempre sa bahay kapag one sem na online, full online exam, dapat merong isang area, may isang room or may isang may table ka.
Tama.
Na ano lang, lahat doon akad, pang-academic. So, once na nandun ka na, nakaupo ka na doon, naka-mode ka ng mag-aral. Tapos, sasabihin mo yung family mo na, wala mo na kakausap sa akin.
Do not disturb.
Yun yung big problem sa bahay. Kasi sabi nila, how will you be able to concentrate kung lahat kayo sa bahay, nagkakaroon ng online classes, tapos may mga work from home pa yung parents mo. You all have to get a space for yourself. Tapos tell them, tama nga si Doc Kalvin na, sa time na to, dapat hindi niyo ako i-disturb kasi nag-classy ako, parang ganyan.
Dito sa bahay naman, when I have classes, I tell kung sino man kasama ko dito na, or I'm gonna have classes during this time. So, usually they understand naman. So, tama yung sabi ni Kalvin na like, you really have to find a spot na ACADS only. Huwag ka mag-aaral sa bed, huwag ka mag-aaral sa kumakain.
Oops.
Huwag ka mag-aaral kung saan ka nagda-Netflix or whatever. Kapag nandun ka na sa ACADS spot mo, ACADS lang talaga. So that you'll be having that environment na, or na-psych up ka na ACADS lang talaga yun dun sa spot na yun. And also, for those connectivity issues, I guess you have to inform your classmates once na-disconnect ka via text or via other means of communication na hindi online, na you really have to inform them na kindly relay to doc ganito, ganyan, na nawala ako, so that hindi clueless din kung sino man ang preceptor or yung doctor or sino man lecturer. Kasi they'll understand naman if you can't be there kasi out of control mo na yun.
Simulate mo talaga siya na papasok ka talaga sa school pero nasa bahay ka lang. How about sa requirements? In terms of requirements, are they more lenient now? For example, for late submissions, kasi po poor connectivity po, masyado po malaki yung file. May mga ganun ba kayong issues na hindi na-upload yung mga kailangan i-submit?
Parang very lenient sila.
Ever may deadlines, sabihin natin per cases. Yung case discussion nyo, yung presentation nyo, diagnosis nyo, it has to be done and submitted by this time. They gave the deadline ahead. Strictness naman nila, same pa rin. Gave the sched to you na. So, parang you had time to look for internet, you had time to prepare. So,
so they gave you enough time naman for it. For those who missed the class, meron bang mga recorded classes o once you missed the live class, di mo na siya mababalikan? Parang handout na lang yung magbibigay sa inyo.
Depends kung gaano kung gaano kalaki yung network mo. Kasi yung kilala mo. If you know the right people, batchmates kasi, they have recordings. Gumagawa pa ng trans.
Resourceful.
Oo nga, gumagawa pa ba kayo ng trans?
Kung masisipag kong classmates and batchmates, they do transes. So it really depends kung sino yung kilala mong malalapitan mo. A tip for those of you na gustong mag-medicine. So medicine is dapat people-oriented ka talaga. Kasi during med school, practice mo na yan.
Kasi the professors won't give you, most of them won't give their PowerPoints, ganyan, or will not allow you to record them. Pero if you have your class, parang united kayo, yun nga, tama si Doc Justin, may magre-record for sure, may magta-trans, at kakalat yan.
The entire batch has to experience making a trans. Like, we have, I think, 24 groups in all. May person na nag-schedule at random na this group, siya yung in charge dito sa lecture na to, so trans. So, parang this system has been going on for, I think, 5 years na?
Online classes, yun na yung some kasi, hindi na kami nag-require na i-trans yung online classes. Pero there are some people na super, information, parang sponge sila ng information. So, they have time to do transes talaga.
Ang galing!
And
Kaya pa
there are
din.
people who share naman.
We already parang tackled some of the topics kanina dun about sa clinicals. First sem theoretical, second sem yun na yung clinical exposure, and then you return demonstration and preceptorials. Just want to add yung mga regarding this one, Clerk from Home, Indoorship. Ito yung Indoorship ata yung mga sa mga interns naman eh.
Kasi wala pa kaming guidelines talaga for the online classes this academic year. So, kumbaga, yung kinakwento ko is based from experience.
Coping up. How do you deal with burnout? Yan. I or next train. On your part, you experience burnout or I or next train?
Back pain.
Back pain.
Kasi ang tagal nakaupo. Yung eye strain, so far naman kasi hindi pa kami nagtutuloy-tuloy that much. Wala pa. Pero, I have glasses naman. Pero, yung burnout, yan. May isang group na sa amin na burnout na sila 1 week pala.
Oo. Paano daw?
Ang dami na pinagawa. There is no better coping than sleep din talaga.
Kasi yung parang yung concern ko is, how do you detach yourself from, di ba nasa bahay ka, maghapon, magdamag. How do you detach yourself? Kasi kung papasok tayo sa school, di ba kauwi natin, tapos na yung pasok. Pero ngayon kasi sa online classes, you're at home 24/7. So, 24/7 din ba yung aral? Like yung mga group chats, 24/7?
Uy, hindi totoo.
Grabe na.
Hindi. Sa bahay, from home lang, online classes lang. Parang anytime, syempre, nandyan yung family. Ay, may food, hello.
Tama.
Oo, tapos yun, pwede na
important
lang pag gusto mo. Compared sa face-to-face na mas, may rin naman, may pagka-chill rin naman ng konti yung sa bahay lang, gano'n. Yeah.
Seeing the light to it, no?
When it comes sa burnout, hindi ko pa siya masyadong na-experience. You're not as physically strained as you are when you are doing face-to-face classes. And one malaking factor kasi ng burnout is yung physical aspect of it. So since hindi ka masyadong gigising na maaga to prepare, hindi ka pressured, ganyan.
7:59 a.m.
Sobrang you're at the comfort of your own home. So, yun naman yung kailangan mong iwasan din when you're studying kasi ang daming distractions, ang daming leisure activities na pwedeng gawin. Nakaka-pressure sa akin when I go on social media and I see my batchmates or my classmates na nag-story na nag-aaral sila, ganyan. Tapos, syempre, you'll feel bad about yourself. You're doing the bare minimum lang.
Online classes kasi, di ba? You see the good side of it. Nga yung dwelling on those negativities na ganito, ganyan. At least you're motivated seeing other people na studying. Ang concern lang regarding traditional learners. What's your advice to them on how to cope up with the digital type of learning?
When you start medicine, even in face-to-face classes, you'll really have to adapt to other modes of learning. Yung mga technology din in how you share, how the class shares information, even naman before kahit before pa mag-pandemic is madami ng online resources. For those traditional learners, kasi ako traditional learner myself, adapt ka talaga even kahit hindi online classes. So it's also my perspective before na parang same lang yung aral ko sa nursing, ganyan. But hindi. Sobrang nag-adjust ako sa
Iba siya. Embrace the change.
Siya from undergrad. And talagang you have to
give it your 101% lagi.
You really have to know kung paano ka mag-aaral.
Naman din kasi a lot of people are discouraged kasi nga online learning, parang interpersonal relationships you build with your classmates, with your groupmates, yun yung mamimiss out on mo. Especially if you're an incoming first year med. Pero with regards to learning naman, aminin man natin, ang dami ding mga nagka-cut sa atin ng class kasi kailangan mag-aral or mag-catch up on sleep. So, parang
Kakain sa labas.
Yun din
physically
naman.
present in the class isn't
But
like yung the big
Tama.
thing you're missing.
Nakakatulog ako sa classes.
Actually.
Personally, nakakatulog ako sa classes. So, parang I am there, but at the same time,
it does not
yung
equate
mind ko-
parang to what you know
Yeah.
if you're physically there.
Yung environment is a school setup. That's basically the main difference, I think.
And iba yung studying mo ng undergrad, studying in medicine, you discover new ways to study din talaga.
Yes.
Not one method works.
Totoo yun.
So,
totoo yun.
maski online class pa yun, kahit physical class yan.
Whatever works.
Professor, iba. Unlike kasi sa undergrad, parang uniform. Parang there's a sense of uniformity sa mga profs.
There's no other way talaga na from traditional learning, maging flexible ka. As in, lahat ng pwedeng ways. Magtanungan kayo, question and answer, maliban dun sa notes mo, and then recordings, manood ka ng video sa YouTube. Pero i-add ko lang na from the intellectual, capacity na pwede mong ma-develop as you go on through medicine. Yung emotional quotient, dapat talaga ma-develop mo first year pa lang. Sabi kasi, it only gets harder. Parang ganun. Pero parang first year ka, ngayong second year, parang,
mahirap pa din siya.
Oo. From college to first year med, parang times 10 na yung pag-aaral ko yata. Times 15, times 20. Tapos nung nag-second year, grabe, times 100 yata. Parang never ko namang ginawa to sa first year. Never ko namang ginawa to sa
undergrad.
Sa pre-med. Parang gano'n. Yun nga, from face-to-face to online class. So, mas pa na dapat double yung effort mo na maging flexible ka dapat. Ganun.
True.
So, yun.
Actually,
kung talagang gusto, maraming paraan. Ganun.
Yes, that's true. If you really want it, there are possible ways to do it, no? Medyo fearful lang sila kasi they are still part of the program. Experience, once you're part of med school already, you'll become resilient. Parang very flexible ka.
Nung nag-med school, ma-adapt mo kung ano yung lagi mong kasama, kung paano sila mag-aral.
Just the right people lagi. Some of the students prefer to study in libraries, mga coffee shops, or study hubs. How are they going to review if nasa bahay lang daw sila? Hindi daw sila makapag-aral.
Totoo yan. Experience ko even before the pandemic. No? So, kapag may major exams kasi, pag uwi ko, matutulog muna ako. Pagising ako ng madaling araw. And then pupunta ako sa coffee shop doon na 24 hours kasi siya.
Paano ka mag-a-adapt ngayon?
We haven't had any major exams. So, hindi ko pa sure how. Pero feeling ko kaya naman. Kasi sa undergrad, sa nursing naman, hindi naman kasi ako masyadong
malabas.
Kabalik pala nung hindi ako masyadong mapaglabas ng nursing.
Tama, actually.
Actually, towards the latter time, kasi yung parang lahat ng stress ko naipon na dito sa kwarto ko. So,
mo lumabas,
parang change of scenery, at least yung white noise ng mga tao and the company of people. Ako na sarili kong little space dito, akad space na pag nakaupo ako doon, aral na talaga. Pero it's really discipline at this point kasi we don't really have a choice. As much as we want to.
Gawin mo na lang siyang parang library-like o kaya coffee shop-like. Ganyan. And if you want
magdala ka na lang din ng kape.
Magpaamoy ka ng kape. Ganyan. And if you want to be with other people, may mga iba yung mga ganun, di ba? Yung nag-zoom sila, tapos nag-aaral sila.
Nagtatawagan.
Lang na discussion nyo about on your perspective. Ano yung brief pros and cons ng online classes?
Since per year level experience naman tayo. For
So,
clerkship, definitely
it's
a big con because this is the most supposedly the clinical application, the most practical experience of them all. Tapos, if it's an online class, parang wala rin. So, it's not supposed to be an online class anymore. Dapat ikaw, parang in a sense, frontliner ka na rin dapat.
Lalabas ka na
Pero
dapat.
yun nga, since we're still students,
and your safety is their concern.
Sure, oo. The pro naman is that, syempre, hindi kami ngaragay. as
compared to the
previous
other
clerks
two.
have experienced. Oo. For that year level, it's a con talaga siya.
Personal pro ko dito is yung time. Con ko dito is I'm more of a traditional learner.
Oo.
Pero weighing the two options, parang sabi ko, sayang din naman kasi yung time if you'll file for a leave of absence. Kasi nag-gap year na ako ng 2 years. Don't wanna lose any more time going forward sa med school. Another pro is expenses. Kasi I gave up my condos. Sa food dito na din sa bahay. And wala na din coffee shops na aral. Flexible. You hawak mo yung oras mo.
Siyempre, I always look at the bright side. Wala namang ibang way to see it, just to adjust. Dapat adjust ka lang ng adjust. Dapat flexible ka talaga. And since hindi naman nga natin pinili yung ganitong situation or yung situation kung nasan tayo ngayon. So, pros talaga kasi, I mean, aside from, if traditional learner ka talaga, mahirap. Pero kung magiging flexible ka naman nga, which is yun yung dapat na maging ka, hawak mo yung time mo. Sa ano din, yung pang, hindi ka na pupunta ng school, hindi ka na papasok, hindi ka na maglalaba, hindi ka na magpe-prepare ng uniform. Hindi ka na. So, actually, marami rin. Siguro ang nakikita ko lang na cons is yung sa sa procedures part, sa return demo, na parang hindi nga matuturo sa'yo personally. But then, ang dami namang ways para matuto. YouTube pa lang, di ba? Na parang, hello YouTube, parang gano'n. Pero pagkabalik naman ng school, kapag pwede nang mag face-to-face, pwede namang magpaturo.
Mga nagre-return demo sa class ng mga undergrad, so ginagawa nila, binivideo yung sarili. Tapos yung professor, meron rubric to check kung ano yung mga mali. Tapos ito-type mo na lang doon kung ano yung mali. Pero at least na-practice pa din nila.
Experiential learning. But at the same time, yun nga din na major nakikita kong adjustment ngayong online learning is we are used to medicine being sobrang structured. Well, ngayon na sobrang flexible, medyo personally feeling ko nalolost din ako. It's not as structured as it used to be.
At least it's teaching us to be adult learners. You're responsible for yourself. So parang
it's also a way for you to hone your adaptation skills. Practice na din naman kasi ako as a nurse. So nakita ko naman how yung galaw sa ospital. Even before med school, sabi ko, I think I should learn how to adapt to these kind of stresses.
Hindi ka makakapag-adapt naman sa med. Hindi ka naman nabot ng clerk. Hindi ka magsa-second year, hindi ka magsa-third year. Kasi ka talaga. Kaya the more na next level ka, ibig sabihin, kayang-kaya mo siya.
Yeah.
So what's your message to those who will apply for the coming school year? To enroll or not to enroll having these online classes? Message nyo to future medical student kung mag-med pa din.
So, first of all naman, even if hindi siya online classes, you really have to ask yourself if medicine is for you. Lalo na for those na nag-work na or naka-experience na ng work. Kasi personally, nag-work ako before going to med school. So,
Same.
Sabi ko sa sarili ko na I really wanna be a doctor. So, you really have to ask yourself if medicine is for you. Number 2, tingnan mo din if you have the resources for it. Lalo na ngayong online classes, the tuition fees are still the same. Tapos, you really have to have good connectivity. Yeah, good gadgets, good connectivities. And assess mo din yung personal life mo if okay ba siya sa environment mo kung nasaan ka ngayon. And yung family mo, if okay yung finances nyo. Siyempre, in this time of a pandemic, medyo a lot of us kasi have been struggling financially. So you have to ask yourself that as well. And assess mo din yung learning style mo if pang online classes ka ba. Akala natin kasi lahat tayo pababawin in this online classes. Pero there are people who thrive in it.
At saka if you're a traditional learner naman, kasi, di ba, yun nga, sabi nyo, even if online siya, magpipilit ka pa din na resources mo. In that way, parang ka pa din eh. Traditional, highlight ka pa din, sulat ka pa din. So it's just up to the student on how he or she will do it, di ba?
All people have the means to adjust. Pero if you have the means to adjust for online classes, then by all means, mag-enroll ka for medicine.
This is not to scare those who aspire to become physicians, pero hindi na rin ako mag-sugarcoat. Pero kahit saang course ka pagaling, kaya from course na application kayo or course na memorization kayo, promise kahit anong course talaga, pagdating sa med, lahat magiging flexible ka. Dapat marunong ka mag-memorize. O, pantay-pantay kayo. Dapat marunong ka mag-memorize, marunong ka mag-apply, marunong ka mag-time management. In short, lahat talaga parang mag-iiba kapag med. Gusto, may paraan. Pag ayaw, maraming dahilan. So, if gustong-gusto nyo talagang mag-med, so, yun, welcome aboard. Mag-enroll kayo. Yun sa akin.
Come and join us.
Yun.
So, for me naman, I think Dr. Justin and Dr. Kalvin have said most that need to be said. Kasi, ayun nga, medicine is ultimately a choice. No one should force you into it. Except yourself if you want it. Kasi, ayun, I've also experienced working in a different field. My gosh, the culture shock. Oh my God. And I thought so many times I would give up. Pero ayun nga, because I wanted this, I had to fight for it. So that's only the part of the entering med school part. Wala pa yung in the future as a practitioner, ganyan. And, well, syempre, because it's special right now, it's not exactly an idea. You wouldn't, especially if you're an incoming, may or may not experience, which is crucial to build how you're going to be in med school. Yung resilience mo, yung
adaptability. Ay, nawala siya. Hello?
Doc Mara.
Hello?
Doc Mara?
Yan,
Ayan!
see? Ganyan.
Ayan! It happens.
Example of what happens in online classes.
Online class?
It happens. Kanina malakas, biglang nawala. Kailangan bumalik, kailangan mag-bounce back. You have time constraints, you have a schedule, a plan for your life. If you think that this is the time, regardless kung online pa siya or back to normal, then I think you should go for it. And nothing should stop you from trying to achieve what you want to be. So, si Doc Faith, nagpo-vlog. Diba?
Yes. Both of you, diba, have work. I worked with him sa hospital. Sir Justin.
And fun fact, nung nasa hospital ako, si Doc Faith ay intern.
Yes.
Wow.
Kaya tapos
so, nag-assist kami.
Oo. Dami niya naturo sa akin. Lagi ako nagpapaturo sa kanya nun. Nung ano siya.
ORDR kasi ako.
Nurse siya. Oo. I feel proud na kasama na din natin siya.
Yes.
Doctors, future doctors. Yun. Before it ends lang, I just would like to thank you. Share kayo ng knowledge nyo, experience nyo, and time nyo.
Thank you din for the invitation, Doc.
Yes, I could not speak for the experience. Your insights, tsaka experiences nyo, ang dami ko rin natutunan. Open yung mind ko for online classes. So, to those of you who are planning to enroll to med school or to any related course, kung ano man yung plan nyo, I think this video will help you decide na, yes, you should go for it. Apply for the next school year, diba? Pero kung yun nga, yung sinabi nila kanina na pros and cons nila, if you think na hindi pa time to enroll for this school year, then take your time. Have a gap year or like a year off and think upon yourself if you really want to.
Assess first.
If it's really for you, it's for you. See Doc Justin and si Doc Mara. Diba?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Naabala
Thank you,
ko
Doc.
kayo.
Thank you. Sige, Doc.
Bye.
Bye, Doc. Thank you.
So that's it for this episode. I hope you learned a thing or two from this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And if you have any comments, questions, clarifications, or suggestions, please comment below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode.